welcome back to Reading Homestuck. We got June and Arthur today, and myself, obviously.
No, you're not here.
Oh, shit.
Too bad. Goodbye. Later. Now that he's gone, Arthur.
Yeah, hi, yeah. I'm around.
It took a moment.
No, yeah, I've just been, I was singing Baseline Junkie, and I was like, I'll let this bit go, and then I'll say my thing.
Yeah. Okay, so to catch you up to speed a little, Arthur. Last 2 episodes, technically, we ended the intermission. We got properly introduced to the Vriska 2 character, whose name is Arania. Then the intermission ended. Started at 6 at 3. And we did a little point and click adventure game essentially with Jane. Her dad's missing, so
Hell.
What's new? It's like history repeats itself.
Yeah. History.
I wonder how long it'll take before Dad Crocker ends up dead in a fucking ditch.
God, I hope not. I hope that man survives. I hope
we need at least
dad
one.
survives.
We need at least one dad to survive.
We need one.
What do you mean? Then the audience won't be able to relate. They're not Homestuck members.
Okay, but how am I supposed to relate that?
Well, I mean, I know one way.
You're
Nice.
fixating on the wrong
Nice.
character to relate to. You're fixating on the wrong character to relate to here. Anyway, fucking yeah, and then what else happened at the end? Oh yeah, Tavris Sprite.
Oh yeah.
Gamzee was there and threw the dead bodies of Vriska and Tavros into Jane's sprite, and it created Tavris Sprite, who is I'm glad they're dead
Fucking
now.
wanted
I'm
to
glad,
kill themselves.
I'm glad it's dead. I'm glad it's dead.
Yeah, they're dead now.
Good for them. Good for them. They don't have to be one person now. Good for them.
Do you think Tavros Sprite was also technically a god too?
I mean, technically, they had the light symbol as part of the thing, but, I don't think it really mattered. They were also a sprite. So...
Yeah.
Anyway, and now we're here with Jake, who is seemingly unconscious. Ah, yes. You cannot proceed to the time capsule because you're lying on the floor unconscious. While descending deep into the ruins, a sudden earthquake jammed the elevator on its way down, causing you to take a nasty spill to the floor below. Luckily, you were wearing your trusty skull top, preventing a more serious concussion. You nevertheless lost consciousness and attempt with all your might to regain it. Regain consciousness. You fail to regain consciousness.
You know what would have been really funny is if during this whole sequence, every time one of these do X occurred, they just rolled a dice.
Yeah, my man rolled an out one.
I feel like that would have been a good way.
My man failed his consciousness save.
Yeah. Thank fuck for the skull top, or this man would have fucking failed a death save. Uh-oh. That'd be bad. Anyway, years in the past, but centuries in the future. Oh, it's in
Oh my
like...
God.
This won't become confusing.
yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, so this is a conversation between Dirk and Jake a couple of years ago on their timelines each. However, of course, Dirk's timeline is like 200 years in the future or whatever. So...
It's like 400, but... Like,
400, yeah, that was it. It's 400 years in the fucking future, so... Arthur, do you want to take Jake's voice or Dirk's voice?
What are either of them?
Jake's voice, the green one, is a posh British accent. Dirk's voice, the orange one,
Oh, one
is
second, my
Xavier
mother's here.
Renegade Angel.
My mother's here, let me just say hello to her. Oh yeah, I'm back, sorry about that.
Yo. Alright.
Oh, he's back.
He has returned.
I'll do the Xavier Renegade Angels, that's yellow, right?
Yeah, that's the yellow-orange type text.
Okay.
Yeah.
Happy
Okay, June, do you want to take Jake, or should I?
I don't mind. Do you want me? I can do it.
Go for it. It's like a... yeah, whoa, Nelly, you are
Oh, yeah,
too
I know,
kind.
don't worry,
Yes,
Oh, don't worry. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. Don't you worry.
Not the voice.
more.
Posh.
Nah.
Posh stuff. That's a chimney sweep. That's the opposite.
I'm aware.
Oh,
That was
blimey.
the joke.
Anyway, Arthur, take it away.
I'd let my dad beat me for a sixpence, I would. Anyway, happy 13th, bro. That was more muscle, man.
Yeah, you gotta rev.
You
gotta
do
rev-
it.
You gotta rev the voice up a little bit, or should I take it?
Zenny.
You snows, you lows, you
slumber.
you slumber.
A cucumber.
A cucumber.
Everybody, please get in the way. I'm committing vehicular manburger helper.
That's the one.
Yes.
That's the one, baby. We got it. We got it.
Vehicular hamburger.
Happy 13th, bro. I have something for you.
Whoa, Nelly.
Fucking hell.
Are you good?
Oh, blimey.
We good with
By
the
the
voice?
Queen.
Should I take it?
Take it. I'm not feeling it today. I'm not
Alright,
feeling
fair
it today.
enough. Whoa, Nelly!
I can't.
You are too kind, my friend. What is it?
Yeah. It's no big deal. Since it's nothing, I wasn't planning on giving you anyway. Just sort of happened to finish it today.
I think I catch your drift. So, my new tin comrade finally gets a head on his shoulders, eh?
Yeah, assuming I can actually send it today without another untimely paradoxification. If not, then hey, you get a sick grill full of birthday slime instead.
Oh, hell no. Hell no, man. Well, listen. If you're going to send anything to me, slime or otherwise, can you please at least not make the shit appear directly over my head this time? Last thing I need on my B-Day is another installment of, and I quote, Manbro Bukkake Theatre.
You still don't actually know what that means, do you?
Not really? It's your friggin' figure of speech, man. I gathered it meant getting slimed like in Ghostbusters or some such.
Well, kind of. I told you to look it up.
Yeah, I'm a busy fella, Dirk. Wikipedia is a lot of letters to type in a thing for a man of action on the go. I'm always doing adventures, remember?
That is such bullshit. You sit in your little jungle globe watching movies all day.
Well, yes. But okay, I have a lot of movies to bone up on. There are so many good ones I still haven't seen.
You think literally every film you watch is a masterpiece. I've never felt so much vicarious shame through someone else's atrocious taste in awful garbage.
Screw you! I have impeccable standards! It's just, there's so much good stuff out there, and I've really been on a roll with my picks lately.
Do you hear yourself, dude? Your picks are everything, and lately is always.
Yes, I hear myself just fine. I hear a discriminating gentleman's melodious voice, and it strikes my ears as the voice of reason. Say, here's one I'm pretty excited about. Have you heard about this Avatar jam? It's coming out next year.
You mean the blue furry shit?
No, man, it is not blue furry shit. Far from it. Get this. It is about this paralyzed fellow who's down on his luck and longs for adventure, and he finds it. But is far away on an enchanted planet rich with coveted treasures. And adventure is not all that he finds, oh no. He also finds romance. A beautiful blue woman from the wild teaches him the ways of her savage culture and also the ways of alien love. Together they frolic in the forest whilst sharing primal intimacy through magic sexual escapades. What's so funny, wise guy? Also, are you doing okay? You need to get that laugh checked out. That's a problem. That sounds like you've got a problem there.
To borrow from one of the benighted sectors of your zeitgeist, that was so gay.
Excuse me, but I fail to see what could possibly be gay about some huge, elegant blue men and women having some spiritual intercourse with their tails or something.
Well, yeah, obviously not literally. Jake, where I'm from, that word hasn't been used as a pejorative or even much at all in a really long fucking time.
But you're from friggin' Texas, aren't you?
Well, yeah, but not exactly.
Oh, stop being such a cryptic troll all the time. Anyway, Avatar looks spectacular, and I think my preemptive review was spot on. The bloody end.
Okay, but what you said about those furries was gay as hell. It's just time to fix the facts.
You're just treating my great taste in flicks to your aloof, hipstery disdain as usual. You don't know anything about that movie. Maybe you'll like it.
1 second. And I'm back.
Yo, okay, we were here.
Nah, I saw it already. That movie sucked the smelliest shit from the ugliest butt. Sorry, man.
Well, now I know you're just trolling me. It won't be out for another year.
Oh, well, right. Here, let me send you the rest of this robot already. You kinda spent too long alone on that island as it is. I kinda worry about you. A man can only spend so much time in the middle of the damn ocean with nothing but pop cultural detritus and his own thoughts to keep him company.
Alrighty. I hope it won't be as difficult to finish building as the rest was to assemble.
No, just screw the thing on and it's ready to go.
Capital. Scoot that noggin my way at your ready then.
Oh, blue people avatars, alright. Alright. Oh, cool, it worked.
You nerd. He's got your slick Japanese spectacles and everything. Why is this a metal man before me, or is it none other than Dirk Strider himself in my room?
One thing at a time, bro. I haven't quite figured out a way to get myself there yet.
It almost sounds like this is something you've given some thought.
Okay, well, I don't know what you're implying there, but why don't you snap that sucker on the torso and fire it up?
Affirmative. I continue to boggle vacantly at your technical shenanigans. Your knack for gadgetry seems to surpass even my grandma's, and she was like this big-time gizmo legend. How do you even do this stuff?
I guess from your perspective, it must seem hells of overpowered in a bunch of ways. Which I kind of am. Like, with the ninja sword, I'm basically nuts, berserk, okay.
If you say so, buddy.
Damn,
I can
he's
believe
berserk.
it.
Yeah, but when
Puts
it
the
comes
fucking
to
robot's head on it, it's just... Ah.
No. He screws it on, and the first thing it just goes is Griffith.
the windows start.
And then it fucking choke slams Jake through a wall.
Alright. Yeah, but when it comes to building stuff, you're probably overstating things. Like, for example, if you told someone 100 years ago you could build a computer, they'd probably be like, whoa, shit, look at this fucking genius. Well, actually, first they'd all say, what's a computer? I only know horses and disease and shit like that. But once you actually tell them what computers are, Jesus Dick, you're a wizard. But from your perspective, you know, it's not a big deal to build a computer. You just go online and buy a case and a motherboard and some other shit and put it all together. It's not like you're smelting the goddamn silicone in your basement and making chips in your hermetically sealed, dust-free garage.
Yeah, but come on, it's not like you're from a century in the future.
Well, no.
Nor am I a quaint man of the past. Pardon me, but do I sound like some trolley car bellwether toiling in the heart of the mustache belt from the rough and tumble year of 1909?
He said unironically.
Give me some credit, man, and some to yourself as well. You're too modest about all of this robotics noise.
Well, I don't know. I have a lot of time to work on stuff, I guess. There are a lot of irons, you know where they are. Here's a hint. It's a pretty hot place.
The kitchen?
Sure, I keep some irons in there too, but most of them are in the fire.
Oh, of course. Fire is quite notoriously the hottest thing there is. A tip-top locale for a whole mess of irons.
True that.
Indeed. Irons in the fire are pretty good.
No, Vriska, get the fuck out of there. Get the fuck out. We've already banned you here. We've already banned you from this place. Get the fuck out.
I can't help it. It's every fucking time.
I actually have so much to do and think about. One of my current projects hopefully will address that very issue. Gonna make an AI replica of my own mind. He can share some of the load as well as make a decent intellectual sparring partner, ideally. Not that my conversations with you aren't uniquely rad, but you see what I mean.
See, again, I think you're downplaying a pretty neat accomplishment, if you ask me.
Shrug. We'll see.
Does that mean I'll have to deal with two Dirks? One who is more machine than man? Another who is a computer program you made?
It's a super joke, but I'm guessing you won't be hearing much from the program. It probably won't play a significant role in either of our lives. I have my doubts it'll be a successful project, but who knows?
I'd wager a tidy sum the results of the endeavor would be sensational. I believe in you.
You do?
Sure, bro, I always have. You've helped me out a lot and been a good friend for ages.
Where the fuck are we? What? I looked away for half a second. Oh, there.
What?
Well, I wasn't sure about doing this today, but if it's true that you do believe in me, then fuck it. Why not?
Why not what?
I guess call it an extra birthday present, but instead of a present, that's awesome. Consider it more a weird confession that may change the way you feel about me.
Whoa, Dirk, are you, saying what I think?
What do you think I'm saying here?
Never mind. Sorry for interrupting. Should I sit down for this? I don't know what to do. Wait, I already am sitting down. Maybe I should stand up?
No, just chill out. Stand up, sit down, whatever. Here's the thing. You know all these painfully obvious hints I've been dropping that always seem to be flying over your head?
Maybe? I think I need a towel or something.
About me being from the future.
Oh! Oh, yes. I think so.
Well, those weren't jokes, it's actually true.
What? Oh man, are you actually serious?
Yes.
So, like, you are from a century in the future?
Well, no. More like 4 centuries, the year 2422, or as we say contemporarily, 411 post-cock.
Guess that's the line now. Wow! I must say, this is not the announcement I was expecting. So you're a time traveler from 2422, here to help me build robots or something?
No, I can't time travel. I can only send things through time occasionally. I actually live here in the future alone in my apartment. I can send messages to you in the past though, like I'm doing now.
How?
Years ago, our alien friend sent me a special chat client. It's basically just Pesterchum with some sort of alien technology embedded. It's specifically wired to communicate with your time period. As hours go by for me, the time sends messages to also increments by the same amount, so we communicate in lockstep as if we both existed in the present. She said it was important for Roxy and I to begin communicating with you and Jane, and that is how we all became friends.
Wait, you and Roxy?
Yes, she lives in the future too, though we all live nowhere near each other. I asked her to refrain from telling either of you. I wanted to be the one to let you know to wait for the right moment.
Holy fucking mackerel! This is amazing!
So, you really are trusting me about this? Just like that? No second thought?
Well, yeah, sure man, why not? Wait, it's not a prank, is it?
No, this would be a very shitty and boring prank. I promise it isn't.
Why the fuck did you put prank in? Whatever, then heck yes I believe you to friggin' pieces. It's an awesome thing to be true.
Uh-huh.
Know what I said about you being more machine than man? Anyway, so what's the far-flung future like? Some sort of crazy robo-paradise?
Well, not quite, but there are definitely robots.
Oh man, what are your movies like in the future? I bet there are some real cinematic humdingers. Like holographic stuff? Or whose phone was that?
That was mine.
That I know the fact that it was Arthur's because it was Samsung.
And it wasn't yours, presumably, as well.
Well, no, because mine's a Pixel and it's on silent.
Yeah, fair. I think mine's on silent. I don't... Whatever. If it goes, it goes. Anyway. Like holographic stuff? Or shit, you plug directly into your brain pods, right? Wait, you do have brain pods, right?
No, we don't have brain pods because those aren't a thing. You just made that up, and there are no movies in the future, and there are no humans either. They all went extinct. Roxy and I are the only ones left, as far as we know.
Well, shit. Dirk, this story got so much less awesome. Is it too late to backpedal on believing it before I start to cry?
No, dude, it's too late. Cheers, ahoy. This motherfucker gets sad. Do you want to know what happened?
Sure do. Let me finish putting this steel melon on my brobot and then I'm all ears. Oh. There, he's finished. Look at this spanking iron friend from the future. He's perfect. Oh, shoot, Dirk, he just got blurry and disappeared. What the actual fuck?
Oh, don't worry, that's normal. Upon activation, he goes into stalking mode.
Stalking mode?
Yes, he will stalk you down in the jungle and strike when your guard is down.
What? That's crazy. Why would I want that?
Didn't you say you wanted someone to get into scrums with?
Well, yeah, but... Man.
He will give you all the scrums you can handle. Trust me, this will sharpen your combat skills.
I guess you're right. I was just picturing a little good, honest roughhousing. Why does the whole thing have to sound so sketchy and nerve-wracking?
Look, do you want to hear my grim tales of the apocalypse or not?
Yes! You're right, let's put issues of fisticuffs aside for now. Tell me everything about the future. How does humanity fuck up? Is it the nuclear holocaust? Or is it the robots? Gotta be the robots, right? As per the Terminator?
No, it's more of a gradual decline in population than that due to an insidious power grab by an aquatic alien empress.
Oh, the old alien overlord story. Got it. When does she show up?
Oh, she's already there, in your time period, hiding in plain sight. She has been for anywhere between 50 and 100 years. She's the baroness of Crocker Corp, Jane's company, but of course Jane has no idea. The baroness has been using subtle strategies to manipulate the human population to her company for a long time. On November 11th, 2001... Never mind.
No,
I thought that said September.
No.
Never mind. On November 11th...
But you said November!
I did, because I read it properly, and then I was like, September.
And then you read, and then you
2001.
misread 2011, and then you went, hang on a minute, it must be the other the other month.
Yes.
I can't believe, in episode 117 of Reading Homestuck, we declare her imperious condescension did 9/11.
On September 11th, 2001, she finally made her presence known to the world, along with her agenda for global domination. What a liberal. Buying agenda. I went to the liberal store.
Dirk, what the fuck are you talking about? Anyway, that is pretty scary. So in a few years, she'll be in charge of everything?
Well, no, not quite. That's just when the world finally sees her for the threat she is. She would continue to gain power by exploiting various institutions and the media from within. It would take the next several decades for her to claim the throne as Earth's absolute ruler. Her march to domination was facilitated by a number of scumbag sympathizers as opposed by a few brave rebels. Including my ancestor, Roxy's too.
Yo, Dave and Rose went fucking ham on the Condece, apparently, I guess.
I think your ancestor qualifies as one too. In fact, I'm sure she must have been the first member in the covert opposition movement.
My grandma? I do remember when I was very... What?
Never mind, that's your line. And also, your grandma, how would that work? It's in the future, you fucking idiot. You would mean your granddaughter.
No, you said... Arthur. Dirk's talking about events that are happening in the past, from Jake's perspective.
Oh, 50, okay.
And some events that are going to happen in the future just after Jake's perspective, not his recent past.
I assumed the rebels would be... would only have appeared when she appeared, but fair enough.
Anyway, after that confusion, I do remember when I was very young, she would tell me stories of the wicked woman who raised her. Was she the evil alien?
Yep. That whole story right there, most of which is shrouded in rumor and urban legend. But before we get sidetracked by any of that, I'll try to cover the big picture, to give you a sense of all the batshit lunacy followed by the Sea Hag's power play. The Spear of Longinus from Evangelion.
Wow, I can't believe that the evil alien woman was an Ava fan.
How can I? Nobody at the time.
Like, very slow, just very quietly, like she's blasting the Ava theme from. Like,
yeah. From at this shot, Rose is just hearing very quietly.
Nobody at the time knew what the fuck she wanted or to accomplish or what her actual motives were. We found out later that she wanted to decanonize the rebuilds because she didn't like them. But in retrospect, it became clear she was trying to essentially restore the conditions of her old home world, which she used to rule over as well. She began instituting these crazy laws. First of all, people weren't allowed to reproduce. She found our usual method of procreation revolting, and anyone who encouraged it was punished by death. But she still needed an ongoing population of subjects to abuse them, so to propagate the race she set up this weird system. Random intervals, every citizen would be required to supply their genetic material to drones. That way the DNA would be collected and combined in some way. Many years later, long after the original donors had died, clones would be spawned from their DNA, so no one would ever be able to know who their parents were or be able to trace their lineage. It was only through a bit of good fortune that Roxy and I would be able to discover who our ancestors were.
They were the rebels you mentioned. Are they alive right now? I mean, in my time.
Yes.
Oh, I'm very curious about them and also my grandma.
I'll get to them, don't worry. Anyway, her imperious condescension turned out to be especially cruel to her human subjects. I'm sure her rule was no picnic on her homeworld, but I think she resented the humans' biological incompatibility with the imperial empire she envisioned and became frustrated. Humanity weren't even really her first choice for rule. There were reports she attempted to clone members of her own species and replace the human population with them, but they all died.
What happened to them?
The rumors say it was her own pet who killed them. See, she traveled from her world to Earth in this huge red spaceship called the Spear of Longinus. In it, she
space
gathered
colony
thousands.
The space colony Longinus.
In it, she had gathered thousands of creatures from her planet, I'm guessing, to save them from extinction. This, more than anything, led me to speculate that some cataclysm happened on her homeworld, and she moved to a greener pasture to rebuild her empire. She bred all these creatures in secret, increasing their numbers, preparing for her eventual takeover. Each monster, or lusus naturae, was meant to be a kind of caretaker of the young. You can see where the dramatic schism between our species and hers begins, and also where she had a reputation for being quite insane. But she also happens to have one humongous sea monster lusus that is kind of like her own personal bodyguard and kind of secret weapon. But it turns out the thing is kind of an enigma, sort of a double-edged eldritch horror, as much in her service as it is calling the shots in some unfathomable way. Every time she tried to resurrect her race, it would slaughter them all psychically, as if it was keeping her ambition in check. Or so the story goes.
Wait, these beasts tend to the young. I can tell you from first-hand experience that monsters are totally rotten at taking care of kids. They do a bang-up job of making them scared, though.
Exactly, the plan was beyond shitty.
Does that mean you and Rox were raised by these things?
Nope, it was a very short-lived experiment centuries ago. Humans just don't have the same evolutionary symbiosis with those things that her race had. Turns out a bunch of fucking alien monsters have no interest whatsoever in taking care of human babies. They mostly just wound up eating them, or at best, just abandoning them. Later she instigated the Lucis droid system to serve the same function, as she began phasing in more robotic solutions in favor of this ill-conceived biotech nonsense that always did nothing but backfire.
Oh, shit.
Even drones were replaced with robotic versions. I imagine they were just easier to produce and control, since she'd given up her hope of perfectly mirroring her own civilization in all its convoluted symbiotic glory, but not without a good fight, and not without taking her frustrations out on the human population. She attempted to enforce blood casting through her efforts to genetically alter people's blood color. It was an ugly chapter. Lots of fucking people died from that debacle. Over the last 400 years, the population got smaller and smaller from these atrocities piling up, while she clearly didn't give a shit. All the while, the amount of dry land kept shrinking to gradual flooding. Soon it was hardly anywhere for people left to live, and then, well, that was that. No more people.
Damn. Wait, flooding?
Oh yeah, I should probably have mentioned this up front. One of the first things she did while in power was melt the ice caps. Took a while, but eventually the whole world flooded. And that's how it is now, totally soaked up in this bitch.
Damn, I can't believe the Condece did global warming.
Damn.
That's the
Almost
line
exactly.
now, keep going.
Especially by the same degree of shittiness.
Oh man, does that mean you have to drink your own pee?
You get used to the taste. Welcome it even. Well, that takes about 15 days in a row of hard piss drinking though.
Ew, no, dude, no, ew.
Relax, I don't drink any goddamn piss, okay?
Oh, okay. Phew. I guess your Lucis droid thingy sees to it that you have fresh water?
Nope, those stopped being a thing a long time ago too, once humans went extinct.
Oh, I thought... Well, who raised you then?
Nobody, man. I raised my damn self.
Play the fucking alert sound effect, MGS alert sound effect. Jesus, Christopher Kringlefucker, and here I thought I was rugged. I was rugged, whatever. Rugged? I'm going to go hit my head with
He
a
got scammed.
brick.
He was rugged.
I am going
You're still
to
pretty
hit my
rugged.
head with a... Shit, I'm still being scammed!
You're just a fucking dork about it.
Yo, it's a meme.
He's alive! Oh my
He's
god.
He's alive! Anyway, I wonder if we're gonna get a meme guest appearance soon. I wonder if we're gonna get a meme guest appearance.
He just like pops in and like
Hello guys, I'm
to the
here.
sound. he just like he apparates to the sound of I forget the song from.
We just go.
Sonic
We, no,
Adventure 2.
we just go. I wonder where Amin is today. Bing! Enters the call. Anyway.
Yeah, but it's the song from Sonic Adventure 2. I forget what it's called.
Rolling around at the speed of
Do you mean live and learn?
places to go.
Yes, I do mean live and learn.
How did you forget live and? Arthur, we were at this line. You know where we are.
Just be me, what you can see.
You're still pretty rugged. You're just a fucking dork about it.
Ah, that's true.
I guess I did have Kel looking after me. Let's not discount the radical service of the Seaman. Okay?
Heaven
Seaman.
forbid. And what about Roxy?
Don't know, don't care.
Oh, there's a lot to say, we can't just ignore that, alright.
Pretty sure
Yeah.
the Capricians took care of her when she was young.
Wait, the what's-its?
Oh, right, yeah, another thing I forgot to mention. There are a lot of these humanoid creatures with hard shells, some black, some white, as humanity was dwindling due to an increasingly whimsical and psychopathic Condence. She began introducing more of these Capricians onto the scene.
Are they aliens too?
Sort of. They're definitely from other planets, so yeah, really, the deal with them was where they came from is a whole other story for another time, but the bottom line is, at some point, somehow, she started herding a bunch of them from their home worlds onto Earth and multiplying them. Something like 100 years ago, it became clear she favored these guys more than humans as her subjects. They're very loyal and seem genuinely dedicated to serving her. Must be what they were bred for. She still treats them like shit. Oh, unsurprisingly, all these colonies started sprouting up like modular cities floating on water. Probably sounds a lot cooler than it is, but they live in basically slums. That's where they tend to live in large numbers. Roxy lives in one of these colonies about 2,000 miles up from where I am.
Good gravy! Those are exotic circumstances. And here I was, thinking I had the most exciting and adventurous life. Turns out I'm just some old chump on boring-ass Monster Island in the silly old pre-apocalypse.
I mean, for what it's worth, I think that's gotta be more interesting than living in the 21st century than the 25th. Like, honestly, it's no contest.
You're probably right. I'd be really keen on talking to Roxy about this too. I'm very curious what her experience as a future lady are as a future lady with all the what's-its, the hardshell folk. I must say, it turns my previous perception of your lives right on its friggin' ear.
Oh, well,
Let
man,
me
she
say
would love...
fuck, author. Let me say fuck.
Golly gee whiz. That's freaking epic,
Gee
bro.
willikers, that sure is
Oh, Chimney!
Crud
Fucking
for
hell,
you.
this is fucking...
Fred says fuck. Anyway.
Yes.
Man, she would
Yeah,
love to
he
talk
does
to you
say
about
fuck.
all this. She hates keeping secrets. It's been killing her not to prematurely spill all the fucking beans to hell. I read that word way earlier in the sentence than it was meant to be read. One can
Well,
even say I read it
It still
prematurely.
works. Yeah. It worked. Anyway, like, what is even your day-to-day business like in C. Hitler's water apocalypse?
Well, I mostly shit around in my apartment all day, building stuff, reading about history, and flipping out with my sword. Sometimes I go fishing and check on the underwater ruins. She does plenty of useless fucking around too, but at least she's got a neighborhood. She also uses one of her gadgets to gank vegetables and stuff from the past. She tries to feed the hungry neighbors whatever she can scrounge up.
Ah. Charity.
That's where the pumpkin's been going.
Those are amazing stories. I'm so lucky to have friends like you. Oh, snap, what about Jane? Have you told her?
Jane is, well, no, I haven't. I've dropped some hints and tested her willingness to believe in something like this. It's just not going to fly. It's way too much to drop on somebody all at once if they aren't receptive.
True, but it seems a shame to keep her out of the loop.
Well, tell her what you want. She'll likely think she's being fucked with. Personally, I wouldn't bother trying too hard to convince her. There'd be no point in alienating her. Someday she'll be ready to believe things.
Haha, alienating, cause Okay, wow, I still have so many questions though. It's incredible that this is all going to happen right around the corner. I don't know if I'm ready.
Well, that's really cool. Okay, like I said, the changes will be a little more gradual than that, more clandestine. She'll exploit the fear caused by her revelation to the world to create intended reactions within governments and media. Her agents embedded on the inside will help nudge things in the direction she wants, and then 20-something years down the road, without anyone suspecting a thing, she'll suddenly be in complete control and Earth will be fucked.
I want to join the opposition. Fuck this witch, I've got lots of guns and reckless bravado and I want to stop her. I'll pick up where my grandma left off.
Okay, cool, bro. Well, aside from the main reasons that won't happen, which I would get into, it still wouldn't be a good idea.
Horse shit, why not?
Because people are way better at this than you tried and died. You said you wanted to hear about our ancestors?
Oh no, I don't like the implications of that. Anyway,
Is that
heck
Spider-Man?
yes, bro.
Scroll up.
Yes.
Nope.
Spider-Man.
No.
Wait,
Spider...
no, that's-
Yes.
Well, it's not Spider-Man, it's Spider-Girl, but still, it's cool.
Spider-Man
Yeah.
franchise.
Spider-Man! It's Spider-Man!
Marvel.
Spider-Man!
Marvel generally.
Spider-Man! Spider-Man!
Oh, that one up there. Lots of spider stuff. Oh no, lots of spider stuff. Never
Love.
meet Vriska. Never meet Vriska ever. I am warning you, Jake. Jake English, I swear to fucking God.
Jake the dog, don't do it.
Anyway, heck yes, bro.
Wow! Well, how much do you actually know about your grandma? What have you read, and what do you remember?
My memory of her is pretty foggy. I do know she loved adventure, just like me. That's why she was exploring this island, raising me here when she died. She was a fair markswoman and knew her way around an atom or two. Just two of them, just 2 atoms, at most. She was pretty sure her company made a tiny fortune till it went belly up. At least I still have a few of her knickknacks for keepsake. And as you confirmed, she was raised by that evil spinster. But then again, from some of the things my pen pal has said, it kind of throws some of these details into question, so I don't know what to think.
I don't know what the deal is with your pen pal either, and I'm not really prepared to speculate on that right now, but I'm privy to a shitload of historical data I can share. What's the last thing you remember about her?
It was the night I found her dead.
Wow, it's a bit rough.
Whoa.
Yo, okay, down. She fucking Okay. She'd gone off to study the ruins one day. I'm pretty sure that was her purpose on this island, to study the technology here and solve all of the astonishing mysteries. She even built that big fancy house we used to live in, so I guess she really wanted to settle here for a while. But she didn't come home from her expedition for a couple days, so I started to get worried. I followed the trail we usually take to the lagoon, while keeping my eyes peeled for monsters. But instead I found her lying there dead. I think a monster caught her off guard. There were 3 big fang marks in the body and a trail of blood along the path. It looked like she was trying to get home but couldn't make it before succumbing to the injury. But before I could even do anything about it, I heard an explosion. I looked back at the hill and my house was gone.
There's Space Colony Longinus again.
Yeah, I wonder who did this. I wonder who could have done this.
Yeah, gee,
three big marks and that fucking ship and the island. I wonder what could have happened.
Gee, I wonder. I fucking
must have been just a really big monster.
Mystery to me.
Must have been just a really big thing.
Maybe we should split up and look for clues.
Okay. You go that way, Arthur. Alex, you go that way. I'll just go that way.
No.
And then just keep walking in that direction forever. Ignore the sea. You'll just keep walking. Just a big poof of smoke where it was standing. So I lived alone in the jungle ever since. The fuck was that, Arthur?
It was me. Oh, yawning. But I wondered about all that. Hello?
Well, you never asked.
No, I know, I would have, but asking you your best would have just been inviting you to do the same. You know how it goes.
Indeed.
But for the record, I don't think those were fang marks on the body, dude.
No?
Finish the story first, then what?
Bruh.
All around me are familiar things.
Anyway.
I do like this art style, though.
Yeah. Oh, there's not much more to it. I had to deal with Grandma's body. I would have loved to give her a proper and dignified memorial like Jane's granddad got. God, Jane is so lucky. Every day in her household must be like weekend at Bernie's. What a riot it must be. I'm so jealous.
Yeah, what a fucking treat. A living room corpse party every goddamn day.
I know, right? Alas, I had to dispose of the body with haste so the monsters wouldn't eat her. So I just made a little campfire and burned it. I keep the ashes deep in the ruins, which is where I think she liked it best. Hopefully there isn't an earthquake or something that would knock the urn over in a predictable and hilarious fashion.
No way, man. I'd bet my bottom boondock that shit's eternally safe. The urn is like the Fort Knox of standing upright forever because of no accidents.
Yeah. So after camping out the next day, I went exploring and found my room globe mostly intact, sitting in the jungle, so that's where I lived ever since. And that's pretty much it. I sure miss my grandma, though. She was the best.
She was definitely very brave. If the stories are true, downright audacious, I'd say.
What did you hear? And then next page, and we wait again. Okay, so...
Hey, yo!
So it looks to me like... So the Condece, either her crown or just like normally, can just use all of the other powers. Great.
Great. She really is gonna be like the penultimate boss.
Yeah, it's her, and then obviously fucking English, because... Duh.
Seems pretty cool.
Yeah, so she can just use all the powers. Anyway.
She's got that easily changeable with the wind personality type.
Oh no, I think that's just because I think that's either because of the crown, it's just like a powerful artifact, or because she's at the top of the spectrum thing. I think that's just a separate.
No, I know. It's just.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, like I said, she was raised by the baroness. It was probably a worse childhood than either of us had. She wasn't related, obviously. Ain't nobody related to that damn fish, except other fish aliens, probably. She had an adopted brother, too. Life must have been miserable for both of them.
Yes, I vaguely remember her mentioning him. Christ, the things she told me now. Well, now that I think about it. She said the witch even killed her dog. Is that true?
I don't know, but I wouldn't doubt it. There are other urban legends. She did a lot of experiments on animals and people, mostly to do with mind control, like figuring out ways to unlock all of her psychic alien potential to increase her power. Not sure if it's true, or if it was actually successful, though.
So what you're saying is, pretty much any unspeakably horrible thing she could have done, she probably did?
Well, yes. Anyway, your grandma managed to turn away when she was quite young. Maybe it was a traumatic event like dog murder that prompted her to flee, who knows? Whatever the case, her bro stayed behind. The guy must have been seriously immune to witnessing fucked up shit, because he went on to be a famous comedian, a real old, kindly old cornball, and that's a guy you couldn't have to meet, they say.
Wow, must have been a hell of a guy.
So you're just not going to make any connections there?
Huh? Where? Huh?
A famous comedian about the age of your grandma inheriting the family name of the baroness, not ringing a bell.
What are you talking about? Dirk, stop speaking in riddles and keep telling the story. I'm on tenterhooks here.
We're just recording from that?
Yep, I did my line, so we're here.
Okay, well, it's not like it's that important, just super obvious thing that'll probably occur to you later when you're looking in the fridge you don't have, at which point you'll feel like an idiot.
Oh my god, you can be one opaque motherfucker. Just clue me in, bro.
It'll be funnier this way.
Strider!
Moving on. Oh, by the way, I've only got like 10 more minutes. Okay. Let's just try and finish this convo and call it.
I think this convo is going to be going on for a little while, but yeah, we can keep
See
it
how
rolling.
far we get.
We can keep it rolling until we have to go. Yeah. Anyway.
The kid kept the family name, but obviously your grandma didn't. She must have had a grudge against the baroness her whole life. She started by taking a different name she knew she would stick in her craw.
Oh, I remember this. I believe she said the witch used to be married to a terrible man named English. So because the witch really hated that guy, she took on his name as sort of a big old fuck you to the woman?
It's probably close to the truth, but it sounds like the kind of story the old lady tells her young grandson in a way that he would understand, or at least wouldn't scare the shit out of him. What I've read is something much more sinister, as usual. There's supposedly one thing the baroness fears, and your grandma learned of this somehow. It wasn't her ex-husband, though. It was her superior, some kind of demon, or another alien. No one really knows, but he went by the name English. He's supposedly even more brutal than she is. Can you believe that?
So I'm named after a demon? What kind of demon is named English, anyway?
An entire
Vampire.
country full of them. And what kind of alien is named Crocker? It's probably just a name stolen from someone else, like the Baroness did.
I guess it's kind of cool being named after a demon who's so scary even the witch is afraid of him.
Well, yeah, your grandma thought so. Everything she did in her life thereafter seemed to be in an effort to piss off the better witch, like starting a competing tech company, heavily branded in a way that was presumably intended to remind the Baroness of her boss, like with skulls and garish colors and shit. The dude is some kind of skull monster, I guess.
I love skulls!
I am aware.
Yo, it's the
Okay,
Dome!
Voodoo.
It's your boy.
it was definitely brave on her part, but ultimately it got her a bankrupt company, a blown-up house, and a folks with torso for her trouble. But she must have been the first to understand how dangerous the baroness was while acting in covert opposition. Others would follow and continue to, as of now, in your time period.
These are your ancestors?
Well, yeah, mine and Roxy's were among them.
Anyone I've heard of?
Oh, of course, all these fuckers are like totally famous, obviously.
Oh, sure, obviously.
Alright, let's finish this page.
Alright, let's fucking get on with this. We were,
Oh, sure, obviously, we said that.
yes.
We've talked a lot about we've actually talked about the guy I'm genetically derived from a lot, actually. Like, you know, every time I talked about my bro. We might have a minute, so I'll try and finish my line.
All right.
Sometimes, or other times, you're on point like a bag of nickel shit.
Whoa now, those are the sweets kept in reserve for millionaires. Such flattery.
Okay, what we're saying stopped meaning anything, so I'll continue.
Right, so then he was never actually your bro?
No, that's just kind of how I view him. Land took a more maternal view of her ancestor.
The lady who wrote all the dreary wizard books, I presume.
Yeah, the Cottle series. Ever read it?
Okay, we're gonna get... Hang on.
Yeah, I heard.
Okay, we're gonna analyze this picture in a minute. Arthur, quickly, your summary, your thoughts on what's happened this episode. Me and June are gonna keep going from here for a little bit.
Yeah. It's cool. I didn't know that they were from different time periods, so... But yeah, this is just a lot of expository dialogue, which isn't so interesting, but it's a setup for future stuff, so it's whatever.
Yeah, it was this exposition, yeah. Fair enough.
Right. I'm gonna go now, bye.
See ya, Arthur, we're gonna keep going.
Yeah, have fun.
Say bye, audience.
Say bye, everybody.
That was Arthur. Amazing performance.
Okay, so I'm gonna take the...
Also, just this picture, I mean,
So this-
it only gives more credence to my theory.
What theory again?
The character was like the character in the wizard book was inspired, like, is somehow related to those two, like, at least Cataclysm. But we can see we can see Ophiuchus there.
Ophiuchus and the fucking
Ophiuchus, that's how you
thing.
fucking pronounce it.
yeah.
And the it's not the caduceus staff. I believe it's the Slepius. As someone corrected us in a previous episode.
Yeah, fair enough.
The thing is, they are very similar items.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep referring to it like that because why not? Fuck it. And we've already
Yeah, I mean,
we've already nicknamed the
Cataclysm
character Caddicarus. Who gives a shit?
We already named the character Caddicarus. That's fine. I literally had to look up, I looked them both up, just because I was like, okay, what is the actual difference between these two things? And
Another
it was
point as well, I think. Another point I feel like we should look at here is the fucking Caduceus staff, whatever, and the Ophiuchus. They're both attached to the same body here.
Yeah.
So that's something. And the two text colors.
Personality?
Dual personality shebang thing, yeah?
Yeah, not split.
Yeah, like,
Dual personality or something, maybe? Who knows?
yeah.
But also, Hussey was clearly
And I think at this point,
dressed in...
I don't think that I don't think that they're trolls, because I think, if I remember correctly, fucking Caddicarus said something about I don't experience romance It seemed like their idea of romance was like completely, like, entirely disconnected from like human romance, I think. Whereas with trolls, the human romance is like part of it. Whereas Cataclysm kind of seemed to imply that, our thing is like a completely different thing. We don't follow that at all.
But remember, Andrew Hussey in the intermission, he had horns on that would troll like horns.
True.
So
but then again, Andrew Hussey also could have been just fucking trolling us. Pardon the pun.
True, but what I was gonna say was, could be because like it could be like a different universe offshoot that just happened to end up with trolls as well.
I feel like that would be
it's a complete.
I feel like that's a bit too much of like Hussey just going, fuck it.
Maybe
fuck it. Here's more of the thing you like. That doesn't seem like Hussey's style. Hussey very much seems like the kind of person where it's like, oh, you like these people? You like this thing? Fuck you. Here's a completely different thing. Go fuck yourself.
Well, okay, here's the thing. We know that Cataclysm at the very least has grey skin, because we've seen Cataclysm's hands. So...
Or could be body paint, honestly. Because Hussey was in body paint. Hussey was, if you remember...
No. I'm not talking about Hussey. I'm talking about...
I know you're not talking about Hussey, but if you're going to relate what Hussey was doing in the intermission to them, then I'm going to also relate what Hussey was doing to them as well. Because Hussey was like in troll cosplay. So it's possible that...
Yeah.
Because we know that Cataclysm is like a fan of... like it. Cataclysm is essentially a Homestuck fan in the Homestuck, like, multiverse, quote-unquote, I guess. In, like, as a life form in Paradox Space. She is a fan. So it's possible that, it's possible. I feel like at this point...
I guess we'll have to see.
I think at this point it is very much still too... Once we have met Cataclysm and know what their actual fucking name is... then I feel like we'll get the answer.
Yeah.
We'll know what the fuck we're talking about here. Anyway, do you want to take Jake? I'll take Dirk.
Yeah, I'll try my best to sound as Tory as fucking possible.
No. Just like posh and upper class, not Tory. They're slightly different. Posh and upper class, you're an idiot.
Fuck me,
Tory, you're actually cruel. You're actually a piece of shit and deserve
me,
to be
I
shot.
guess.
That'll work. That'll work.
I tried. It's too depressing. And also, kind of impossible to understand. I told Roxy I liked it, though I didn't want to hurt her feelings, so I didn't say I said that. I'll wait for those movies to come out. I bet I'll like those better.
You don't say.
I do say. Hey, you must have seen them. What's being in the future? Are they any good?
They are not.
Phooey to that. I even believe you.
The books are pretty interesting, though, if somewhat dense. They're supposedly heavily allegorical, veiled in representations of cosmic events surrounding the witch and her boss and how all this came about. It's the kind of thing you wouldn't pick up on unless you were someone who understood what happened, like the Condece, which was kind of the point. I think it was her way of letting the witch know I'm onto you. In the early days of the resistance movement, they both opposed her more indirectly, through their art, like criticisms of tyrannical governments often used to. That's the words, yes. They had to be careful, didn't want to make big waves too early. My bro did this too with his many fine films. Practically everything was a symbol for something. either in mockery of the Battle Witch or conveying some hidden message to its audience. Each film was always rigorously picked apart for its head-scratching symbolic meaning. But he managed to accomplish all that without ever compromising the purity of his ironic vision, which I think was admirable. The Mavovi.
The Mavovi.
The Mavovi.
Fuck yes. The Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff films rule. Screw the haters, that's what I say.
You also say that about Weekend at Bernie's.
Man, that is a scandalous mischaracterization. Nobody hates Weekend at Bernie's. The Weekend at Bernie's films are generally regarded as so unremarkably mediocre they don't even attract any trolls who care enough to shit on it. Believe me, I've tried to get in debates with people about it.
Yeah, you pretty much touche'd the fuck out of that. But we're definitely in agreement about my bro's films as the masterstrokes they were. He just kept cranking them out too. He really stepped up production after 11/11/11. Even though the cat was finally out of the bag, he was very dedicated to his craft.
Dang, I can hardly wait to see them.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold your breath about that.
But why not?
Man, fuck it, I'll just send you them.
Just repeatedly.
Yeah, just spam it.
Repeatedly play that.
Just
yeah.
keep a lid on them. We don't need any weird causality shit rearing its head here. That would be dumb.
I will guard each glistening compression artifact with my life, as if a jewel pilfered from a tomb.
Which was the last you saw?
Oh, that was Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff, the Mavoivi, and Sweet Bro and Jeff, the film. Oh yeah, and Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff, the Movel. I think Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff, the Moivy is still in production, right? But honestly, I get confused about which particular misspelling is attributed to which film, or even if I'm getting the misspellings right.
The key to sorting it all out is to understand it doesn't actually matter. Through video streaming services, he would frequently set it up so buying a certain title would ship you the wrong film. Often, titles for movies were available for sale that just straight up didn't exist, or would be sold for dollar amounts that made no sense. Like 2.890.1 and sometimes buying a download would actually deposit money into your account instead of deducting from it. It was all part of the experience.
Your forebears are certainly entrepreneurial, if nothing else. I can get behind the idea of making a killing if it means I also get to be as good at doing adventures as I hope to be. Did they ever bring the battle to the witch's doorstep, or were the blows dealt strictly through public masquerades and theatrics?
Yeah, they got pretty deep into the shit eventually. They were both very skilled combatants. I'm pretty sure she had some weird powers too.
Powers, you say?
Communion with occult forces, something like that. She knew things, had visions, that's why she was able to write those books, and more importantly, why Roxy and I were able to survive here.
How?
They knew we would be here someday, so they prepared for our arrival. I live in what used to be my bro's old apartment 400 years ago. The whole city is gone, but this one unit was somehow protected. He left some supplies here for me. Like a lifetime supply of orange soda in the crawl space, along with a fuck ton of Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff merch. It was like discovering my own personal holocaust of bulbous jutting bottoms. Plus some weapons, some other gear, and a killer pair of shades. Roxy's mom used to live at her place too, and left some stuff she might need lying around. This was way before there were Carapacian colonies though. I think her house must have been a kind of colonized structure. like a potential colony. Something built to undergo modular self-replication if activated. I'm sure her mom knew that. It's been a good way for Rox to blend in. I stick out like a sore thumb here, of course, but it hasn't really been a problem yet.
So, they knew you would show up in the future someday and prepared for that. Doesn't that mean they also knew they weren't going to be able to stop the witch?
Probably, but they went down fighting anyway.
Wow. That's brave and kind of sad.
Yeah, but wouldn't you?
Of course. You always go down guns blazing, that's what a hero does, when he loves adventures and has guns. If there's one thing movies have taught me, beside the fact that guys using a corpse as a silly puppet is freaking hilarious, it is that fact.
It's not like their rebellion was totally futile. They took a lot of shitheads down with them.
Who?
Sympathizers.
Ugh. Just the thought of such scoundrels turned to my stomach.
They should. In order for you to understand, I'll have to fill you in on the ridiculous final gasps of human civilization, taking place over the several decades leading up to its absolute enslavement. The decades which immediately followed the rebranding. Okay, I was going to stop on this page, but now I have to know how fucking Guy Fieri is involved.
Yeah, I have to know how Mr. Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives is involved in this shit.
Diners, drive-ins, and die. As I
Hi, I'm
mentioned...
Guy Fieri, and welcome back to Diners, Drive-Ins, and Die. He just pulls out a gun, shoots the cameraman.
As I mentioned, Crocker Corp's rebranding on 3/11, as it was often referred to in the news, totally changed everything. It marked the beginning of a completely shameless downward spiral of Western civilization, through a series of events that were probably hard to notice at the time, but quite glaring when evaluated historically. Though the Baroness made very few substantive gestures of aggression, the global fear of her looming threat would trigger all the changes she needed. Governments prepared for war as if to defend against the invading alien army she undoubtedly commanded. But of course, she had no army. She was always the only of her kind. Instead, the world powers were only setting about to build her armies for her. The media deteriorated into this preposterous circus that was in all practical ways inseparable from the power base and government institutions. Popular entertainers became dangerous demagogues, and their roles in the media blurred with those of executive authority. And the most dangerous were the ones who fed into the fear and hysteria most effectively. These tended to be plants, unscrupulous shills paid by the Baroness to move her agenda forward.
Dang. I would like to think I would not be suckered by their silvery tongues whenever they come along.
Well, the thing is, most of them are already on the scene in your time.
Who?
Ever hear of Guy Fieri?
No, I don't think so.
You're fortunate, then. He was an especially degenerate piece of filth. He used his connections and guile to wriggle into the spotlight, and then onto other positions of power. He somehow landed on the U.S. Supreme Court. Over the years, other justices started mysteriously disappearing without being replaced. After helping rewrite the Constitution to form an incomprehensible patchwork of fascism, theocratic mandates, recipes, and bad rap lyrics, he weaseled his way into the ranks to become the High Chaplain of Interstellar War. I'm just gonna cut to the chase, because really this ain't a big history lesson here. He eventually came to be regarded as the third and What?
Because this ain't a big history lesson here. What have we been doing?
What is this? What is this then, Dirk? Explain. He eventually came to be regarded as the third and final Antichrist. No other human in history was responsible for more death and suffering.
Guy fucking...
And of course, yeah, fucking ICP's involved somehow. Grand, okay.
Of fucking course.
I think we're gonna have to end it here. I think we're gonna have to take a pause here. We are running out of time. Hang on, are those the fucking dragon? I'm not getting into it. I'm not getting into it. I'm not going to ask.
Those are indeed
Dragon
the
Balls
Dragon
are here.
Balls.
I'm not going to ask why the fuck the Condece made fucking Shenron, but fuck it. Okay. What do we think of this episode, Jim?
This is a beautiful image. This is fucking beautiful.
Beautiful, horrific,
beautiful image.
confusing. What the? Who cares? It's something. It sure is.
Fuck it.
It sure is something.
I didn't get to do much this episode, but like, you know what?
You know what?
I don't
Fuck
fucking care. This has been a fucking trip to listen to.
This sure was an episode of reading Homestuck. I think we have to agree. This sure was an episode.
This certainly was an episode of reading a Homestuck.
It sure was an episode. Whether it be an episode of the show or a mental episode, I think both, but it sure was. It was an episode.
It was,
something.
and certainly is, and for the foreseeable future will be an episode of reading Homestuck.
So, right, I guess outro time, since we are running low on such a resource. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you very much like this video and want to see more like it, hit that subscribe button. We upload Reading Homestuck every Monday or Tuesday, depending on your time zone, and we upload other things on Thursdays or Fridays, again, depending on your time zone. Other things like the Homestuck class and aspect quiz video we did a little while back. For those of you who have done fan of that, don't worry. We will be showing that off. It's just we're waiting until we've got the whole crew in, which might be happening soon. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. This is things I cannot predict.
Is a valuable thing.
Watch it fly by.
Watch it
It's
fly
the pendulum
by.
swing.
It's the pendulum swing!
I wonder if Linkin Park are involved in this somewhere. Humanity
It
goes
starts
extinct.
with...
I'm going to say this now. If humanity's end comes to the tune of "In the End" by Linkin Park, I do not know how I will react. Probably with raucous, uproarious laughter. Anyway, you can also follow me on Tumblr. I post things there sometimes. I try. You can also follow June on Tumblr and Instagram. June, and I hear something is going on Instagram now.
Yeah, I've actually been doing shit. You can follow me on Instagram. Sometimes I will post stories. I'm also working, well, I say working, the work hasn't happened yet. I'm organizing work to put on Instagram.
Nice.
But you can also follow me on Tumblr if you fancy seeing random shit that I reblog and me posting borderline shower thoughts that I did not have in the shower. Because, let's be honest, I don't think when I'm in the shower.
And then there's me, where the sentence is exactly the same, except that it ends just before the word "in."
You don't think shower?
No, I don't think. The sentence is I
Oh,
don't
right.
think. Why would... June, shower was not before the word in that sentence.
I thought we were just removing the word in.
Well, where did the word "the" go? Doesn't work. Doesn't make sense. We'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. June?
Bye.
There you